gallery. Okay, so what I'd like to do now, before we do the guided meditation, is just to take 10 seconds, and while we're on this call, to pick 2 people that are on the call and think of something that you appreciate about them. So I'll tell you when to start, and we'll only do it for 10 seconds. Okay, so, and it can be something as simple as you like their smile or the way they're sitting. I mean, whatever, okay? All right, so ready? Start.
Carol always has a beautiful smile. And Eileen, I admire the way she's dealing with her husband's passing away.
Dorothy, I was thinking the same about you. I love your laugh too.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Carol.
Dorothy, you are always so kind and upbeat. I can't believe how upbeat you are when you've had some really tough things to go through.
Good for you, Dorothy. Yeah. Practice, right? It's a practice. Yeah. So.
And I know that Kit has helped me go to the hospital a couple of times to have a nerve ending burnt. And she was very gracious about doing that and kind, and I appreciate that, Kit.
Wow. Yeah.
And Donna, you have the darndest, nicest, cutest smile, and you're always up. It's just a pleasure to see your face.
Thank you. Oh, that's delightful.
I'm grateful that the people of this group, all of you who've been getting together for such a length of time, have been so accepting of me who just stepped in. So I'm grateful to everybody. And Dorothy, I'm grateful for your way of speaking your mind. I really like that.
Yeah. She is. Thank you, Eileen.
And Holly, I appreciate how kind she and Sandy were when I was going to have a medical procedure, and they called me at home and were good listeners, and I felt I could rely on them to talk to. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Carol, for saying that. And I wish Sandy would come out to my house and meditate with us, but she hasn't. So she's been invited, but she misses everybody and hopes everybody we could get back together. And she always says to say hi to everybody. So
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah.
So.
Colin, I like all the suns you have behind you. It must be a very meaningful wall.
All the.
Oh, thank you, Dorothy.
Yeah.
That's one of my wife's hobbies. Everywhere we travel, we always look for a sun to pick up.
You clearly like them too.
Oh yeah. I just want to say that I just appreciate being able to see other people. You know, see some other smiling faces, see some other homes, see some other backgrounds. I especially like Donna's jungle. Nice to look into. See all that greenery, all that light.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see some other smiling faces.
It really is, yes. Yeah. Thanks, Colin.
I suppose, oddly enough, I'm grateful to the pandemic, because you wouldn't have done this on Zoom.
See that? There is a silver lining. Yeah. I know it. I really, and the fact that we can have people from all over the country, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's open to all of you if you wanted to join in the morning virtual Zendo sitting 30 minutes. And there's a woman who, now we have a woman on from Croatia. So somebody from Dubai, someone from Croatia, someone from Moscow. I mean, there's just something about knowing that you're going to look at people and be able to interact with people that are all over the world. It just gives you more of the world gets smaller, feels more like a family, you know, so.
Do we have the link to that?
Nobody said they wanted. I told the email, but I'll send you a link. Okay.
Send me one too.
Okay.
I'll try to get up.
That's early.
What time is it?
8 o'clock for you, 7 o'clock for the Midwest. There are 3 times of the day, so you might find another one too. They're doing it. So I'll send it. I'll just send it out to everybody, and then
Yeah.
you have more of a choice. Okay. So, so the last thing I want to say before we do the guided meditation is that really doing a appreciation meditation is really a form of positivity meditation. And I like how Peter Wang, who's at the CEO of Healthy Minds Innovations, and the way he asks, how do we support our own and others' mental well-being? And he says, it's not about toxic positivity. I hadn't heard that term before, toxic positivity. It's not about transforming something negative into something positive. It's just about shifting what we pay attention to. So, and so my little side note is that once we learn that we can shift our attention, and that's what we're doing when we're practicing meditation. We notice that the mind wandered, and then we shift our attention back to the present time. And it's constant. So that's really a skill. And in fact, next week, we're going to talk more about that, because one of the most important, I think, articles I ever read was, the title of it was, "This One Skill Can Immediately Change How You Feel." So, and it's really about shifting your attention. And we're choosing where you're going to place it. So anyway, we'll go into that more deeply next week. So let's maybe start with the guided meditation on appreciation. So I'll start with ringing the bell, and if everybody would mute themselves, that would help me. Except for me, right? And you may want to dim the lights in your room or turn off the camera, whatever feels right for you, allowing yourself to get comfortable. And maybe take a moment to reflect on your motivation for practice today. Just why are you practicing today? And then see if you can set your intention to be for your benefit and for the benefit of others. Just knowing that practice has a ripple effect. And then bring your attention now into your body. Begin by settling more into the present moment, bringing attention to the posture, noticing and finding a posture or a position that's upright yet relaxed. And you may want to have your eyes closed or open, whatever feels right for right now. Taking a few deep breaths. And then relax as you exhale. Scanning the body, releasing any tension that you find each time you exhale. And now let's focus on feeling our body's natural response to appreciation and gratitude. We all experience this in different ways, but as we train ourselves to see the positive qualities, we'll slowly get more familiar with what it feels like to appreciate someone or even appreciate ourselves. As you notice what's going on in the body, trying to focus and shift your perspective toward the positive. How amazing the body is. The body's breathing on its own all the time, giving us life. When we breathe in, the plants sustain us. And when we breathe out, we help sustain the plants. The heart is beating. The organs are doing their work. Everything without us even noticing. Our cells are always interacting, working to keep us healthy and alive. So just take a moment to appreciate all of that. You might want to take a moment now to consider our muscles and joints and bones, what they allow us to do, like the hands that allow us to take care of ourselves, connect with our loved ones, with our pets or children. All of these things that we take for granted. The body's amazing. And now let's begin to expand this sense of appreciation into our senses, appreciating whatever capacity we have to hear. Sound, music, children playing, birds singing, the voices of our loved ones. Just appreciating the sense of hearing. And then noticing the sounds that are present right now. Can you notice the subtlety or maybe even the beauty of any of the noises around you? Just listen with appreciation. And now shifting to the sense of seeing, perhaps opening the eyes. Our sense of sight allows us to see nature, art, the faces of our loved ones, of our friends, and technology that helps us remain connected in these challenging times. You might even pick a phrase to say. For example, I appreciate my sense of sight. Notice how that feels in your body, to become aware of the positive things that we might have overlooked. And now let's just take a moment to rest the mind. Simply letting go of the appreciation practice, allow the mind to rest and notice whatever is present in your experience. You might feel some sensations in the body, thoughts going through the mind, whatever they are, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. Maybe the practice is a struggle today, and that's okay. Just being aware of what's going on in your mind and your body. Not trying to block or push any experience away, not trying to create something that's not happening. Just being aware of things as they are. And now let's see if we can spark a feeling of appreciation and gratitude by bringing to mind someone that you genuinely appreciate. Perhaps somebody close to you, somebody who's been especially kind and helpful. Think of some of the things that you appreciate about this person. Maybe there are things that they've done for you or ways that they've helped other people. Just focusing on the details of what you appreciate. Think of very specific ways that they express their care or their love. For instance, you might think to yourself, I really appreciate the way my husband, wife, or someone made coffee for me this morning. Or it's really nice how my coworker keeps our work so organized. Just bring to mind a clear and vivid memory. It may have been the kindness of a clerk in the store. As you bring these memories to mind, you might feel something in your body. Different people experience this in different ways. Sometimes as a warmth in the chest, or a feeling of lightness throughout the whole body. You may not feel anything at all. You might even feel tension or resistance. Whatever you're experiencing is fine. Just notice what you're feeling right now. If you find it challenging to connect with a feeling of appreciation in the body, don't worry. Just stay relaxed and continue thinking about people in your life that you genuinely appreciate. You can even try to put this into words. It could be something like, it's wonderful that she really seems to care about what she does, or she seems to be well prepared. Just thinking thoughts like this as you bring people to mind and find things to appreciate. And now take a moment to perhaps open your eyes and look around you for a moment, around your environment. And take a moment to notice something positive in your environment. It could be as simple as the fact that you have shelter and a safe place to practice. Or it may be a beautiful piece of art, or a plant or nature outside the window. Just take a moment to notice some positive things that you appreciate in your environment. Noticing those moments when you're disconnected from the practice and returning your attention to whatever you're appreciating in your environment. And now take a moment to just rest your mind. Not focusing or concentrating, simply letting go and being present without any effort. Just allowing whatever's happening, nowhere to go, nothing to be, nothing to do. Just simply being present. Allowing. You may want to take a moment just before we end to just think to yourself a particular situation that you're going to be in the next hour or few hours, the rest of the day, and think about some things that you might appreciate then. Kind of preparing the mind for appreciation. And to end the meditation, I'll ring the bell. I want to end that practice with a quote by Rumi, because it is a full moon tonight. So, as Rumi says, life's waters flow from darkness. Search the darkness, don't run from it. Night travelers are full of light, and you are too. Don't leave this companionship. The moon appears for night travelers. Be watchful when the moon is full. Be interesting to see what we find when we're watching when the moon is full tonight.
I think it's a harvest moon.
Is it?
I think so.
It's about that time to be harvesting, so probably. So, yeah. So does anybody want to share what came up for you while we were doing the practice? Any questions about it?
I felt a deep quiet when you first said, to just really be relieved, and I felt like, oh, I sure needed that. I just felt tense, and it just felt like everything dropped out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remembered I've got a gal I've gotten to know at the water class at the Y, and my first impressions have changed because I've gotten to know the beauty of her personality and her soul. It's been nice because we've gotten to talk, and she's gotten to share a lot of what's happening to her in the life. And then I felt a deep sense of beauty, and then I felt a lot of love, not only for myself, but for everybody that's living through these terrible times that we're having, you know.
Yeah.
They're so brave, and they're keeping at it and doing the best that they can, most of everybody. And then I looked outside and it's green. My favorite color in the summer is green.
Yeah.
And then in the winter, I have a big backyard and it's all landscaped. And every time I go out, the wonder of nature just overwhelms me. It's perfect and beautiful.
Yes. How wonderful. Yeah. Thank you, Dorothy.
When you commented about thinking about in the next hour or later today, so my therapeutic horseback riding lesson has been switched from Fridays at 5:30 to Tuesdays at 5:30 rather. So I'll be riding Aladdin, who I adore. I've been riding him for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And he takes very good care of me. And there was one point I was in a great deal of pain and told him he would have to really be extra careful. And when I mounted, he stepped very slowly and carefully for about 10 minutes before he was sure that I was okay.
Wow.
I really appreciate this horse and his owner, my instructor.
I got tears. That's so beautiful.
It's amazing. This is an amazing creature.
Yeah. The whole thing about the interactions with the interspecies interactions just so beautiful and so overwhelmingly beautiful to me. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I want to come to Connecticut and ride that horse. For sure.
I definitely believe that horses and people can so well get along. I have had a number of horses in my life, and one in particular I had for about 30 years.
Oh,
And same horse that really understood, and which just reminded me that a couple of days ago I heard, and I think it's supposed to be on PBS, Wednesday night, People and Equines.
ooh,
thank you. Great.
Look for something, you know, they said Wednesday, and I think it was maybe Sunday I heard it, so I figure it's this Wednesday, tomorrow.
it's no.
I'll check it out. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, and the other thing is that in this meditation, I found that the older I get, the quieter I get, because I guess not being able to move around fast or get a lot done just seems to have quieted me more than have to
Yeah.
Me too.
rush around and you don't know how you got everything done when you work. You know, my dad used to say when he retired, he says, I didn't know he had so many other hobbies when he retired at 62 that he said, I don't know how I had time to work because he was so busy after that, you know, and it's terrible if somebody doesn't have much to do when they retire, and, you know, so doesn't
So
have
I
interest.
think I hear you saying you're appreciating just being able to be and not worry about your to-do list.
Right, because there's nothing, I can't help but getting older. I mean, I'm not getting younger, but I mean, if you
Better
accept
than
the
the alternative.
right. Yeah, there's an alternative. I don't like that. Yeah,
So,
no.
thank you, Holly. Thank you.
I have a question.
I thought of so many things that I'm appreciative of, that I sort of forget about, you know, how my neighbors are so wonderful. My children are great. And really, I have nothing that should make me sad at all.
Yeah. And you know, the thing is, yeah, how wonderful that is that you can, that you stop and you recognize that. And then also recognizing that maybe there's a habit of, you know, I think you've heard me say before that I used to, when I would relax, there would always be a sense of sadness. It was a habit. I finally realized, oh, there's nothing to make me sad. So So it's like, okay, now I can focus on, and that's partly why we do the positive meditations, because it begins to reverse that negativity bias.
Donna Collin had a question.
Yep. I'm not
I
sure
have
if
a silly
Catherine
question.
is free, is done. Kat, are you
have a-
done?
Yes.
I have a
go
silly
ahead.
question.
Go ahead.
Okay,
I have an unrelated silly question.
okay.
We call it a meditation practice. Why are we practicing? When do we do the real thing?
Good, good. That's a great question. That's a great question. And
I
that's,
don't get it.
and well, that's the idea though. If we practice when there's no other distractions, then it's easier to practice in our life, later on. And because of habit, we're out in the world and our habit is usually it's to be on autopilot and not think about what we're doing. So that's why it's like, okay, stop, practice slowing down and being and watching what's going on in the mind. And usually we get horrified by what's going on in the mind.
True.
How can I be thinking?
Thank you.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, if there's no more suggestions or questions or comments about the meditation, then I'll finish with a poem. Am I right? No one else? Okay. Okay.
Oh, Donna,
Yes, Carol.
thank you for all those resources you sent in that email.
Yeah, huh?
Wow. Yeah, there's so much to pursue, to click on, and some of them that's going to take a while. But thank you. Lots
Yeah.
of good information.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And just to have a list of the benefits helps you appreciate, like that's, as Colin said, when do we practice? I mean, when do we do it in real life? That gives you a sense of why we practice. And it's good to have a list, of the benefits. So.
Thank you.
Mhm. So, okay. So I'll finish with a poem by Mary Oliver, my all-time favorite poet. So this one is called Mindful. Every day I see or hear something that more or less kills me with delight, that leaves me like a needle in the haystack of light. It was what I was born for, to look, to listen, to lose myself inside this soft world, to instruct myself over and over in joy and acclamation. Nor am I talking about the exceptional, the fearful, the dreadful, the very extravagant, but of the ordinary, the common, the very drab, the daily presentations. Oh, good scholar, I say to myself, how can you help but grow with such teachings as these? The untrimmable light of the world, the ocean's shine, the prayers that are made out of grass. So, thank you all for showing up. Hi, Virginia. And for those of you who are going to stay on, we're finishing. It looks a little bit early, but we are done with the meditation. So those of you who want to stay on, great. And we'll just talk about what at least one goal that we want to set for the next week so that we can then report next week to let each other know how we're doing with that. So, and other than that, then I wish you well if you're not staying, and peace be with you. So, okay. Looks like everybody's staying on.
Oh, thank you. I'm leaving, but thank you so much, Donna. I
You're-
really appreciate you.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
See you next week.
Yes, have a great week. Okay. So I'll just call on people and you can, I'm assuming that people have had a chance to figure out which of their goals that they would like to pursue for the next week to do more often. And maybe what I'll do is I'll start. I started working with this about last week, and I'm sharing it with the group that I meet with in the morning that I've already talked about earlier that you all can join if you want. And that is, I started off by saying I wanted to be able to identify with pure awareness. And so now at this point, I'm realizing that what I'm wanting to do is to keep my heart open in the midst of whatever is going on. So that's really my goal, is to keep my heart open no matter what's happening. So I guess I can imagine the next time I feel myself getting angry is how do I keep my heart open in the midst of anger? What a great goal. Anyway, that's my goal. So, okay. So I'll just call on people and we'll make sure everybody gets a chance. I'm just going to start at the top and move across. So Aline, you have a goal?
I do. My goal is to be aware of what's going on in my body more.
Okay.
Um,
I'm writing these down.
okay. May I speak more about it?
Sure.
So when I don't know if I have already told you all this, but when Bill's kidney cancer we discovered that it had metastasized into his lungs, which was January 2019. I stopped breathing.
Oh my God.
And my whole body became very tense, and I was diagnosed with high blood pressure. Go figure.
Yeah.
So I'm on blood pressure medicine at this. So I have been working on learning how to breathe again, learning how to be aware that my toes are clutching. Basically for since January 2019, my limbic system has been in fight, flight, or freeze.
Okay. Yeah.
So my goal is to be more mindful of what's going on, and let go of the toes, let go of the knees, take a deep breath instead of breathing so shallowly.
Wonderful.
So that's what's going on.
Great. Okay. Great. I look forward to hearing how that goes this week.
Thank you.
Colin, how about you?
Well, I found that my meditation practice has been rather haphazard. So I'm going to set a goal to try to make it a routine, at least
Make it
once a
what?
day.
Make it
A
what?
routine.
A routine. Okay.
Routine. So one of the links that you sent us said that a goal needs to be measurable.
Yeah.
So it's easy to measure whether I'm practicing, daily. So I've set a journal up for myself, keeping track of the time that I'm practicing. And my goal is to get in at least one practice a day. If more, that's good. But I'll start there and work up.
Right. Great. Wonderful. Okay. Practice every day. I'm writing that down. Every day. Okay. Next person is Dorothy.
I'll try to put it into words, I guess. I ran off an article today and it said it's called Every Experience is a Spiritual Experience. It said every experience in your life has the potential to become a spiritual experience. Even the most ordinary, boring human experiences could shift into the vast, deep, expansive, and personally enlightening connections with the divine. the secret there is learning how to get out of the way and allow divinity to move through you. I'd like every moment to be in the present, to be a mindfulness meditation. And of course, I was doing really well too when I came up with that. And then yesterday it was a total disaster. Everything went wrong. And, you know, I got angry and nothing went right. And I was just in a bad mood. But then now today I got out of it again. So I know that it's transitory, you know.
Yes.
So that would be my goal, I think, to make life as meaningful as possible through meditating and mindfulness meditation on just what you are doing at the moment.
So,
Instead of the past and the future, you know, and whatever.
so being present to whatever you're doing in the moment is what.
Right.
Okay.
I
Okay.
better write that down.
Yeah. It's easy to forget, isn't it? To whatever you're doing.
And to make it meaningful.
Ah, yeah. And so you might try the appreciation thing. What do one thing do I appreciate?
Well,
About
when I got home I just got home from shopping at the grocery store, and I was sitting there eating, and this wave came over me of appreciation for the fact I could have the money to spend. I could get the food I wanted. I had some treats. I was eating something that I enjoyed. It was just the appreciation when I know so many people right now are suffering, you know, that here I was grateful that I was able to do these things, to walk in the store. And, you know, I walk with a cane. Well, I can grab onto the cart and walk with that. So there's a lot to be, in appreciation of. And when you just feel this relief that all these burdens have kind of just peeling off you.
That's very interesting. As soon as you appreciate, or in a sense of appreciation, there's no more burdens.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Being present to whatever you're doing and making it meaningful. Okay. So I'll look forward to hearing how you do that next week, okay?
Uh-oh.
Okay. Carol?
Well, before I say something about myself, what Aileen said reminded me of a link in one of the things you sent us about that Ride the Wild Horse meditation.
Oh, yeah.
And that I just did the first short one, but that was about getting in touch with your body. And I thought, Aileen, with the horse too, that kind of seemed connected somehow.
Yes.
Somehow it seemed like I've been doing pretty well for a long time with a short meditation every day. And then I don't know what happened, but the time would come and I just wasn't in the mood. I was feeling like I didn't want to sit. I wanted to be moving around or something else. So I'm trying to get back into that habit of my regular practice, even if it's not a really long one, but sitting there quietly and getting back in touch with that part of me.
Okay. So your goal is to start making sure you practice sitting every day, even for a short time. You might want to say how long, like maybe 3 minutes.
Oh, at least it's usually longer, but there were days when, wow, it's just not the right time. So.
And then of course you can meditate while you're walking too.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. But you do want to start practicing again sitting. Okay. Return to sitting practice. Okay. And next we have Virginia.
I really don't have anything to add to it because I started so late today.
Did you get the handouts that I sent in the email 2 days ago?
No.
Oh, that's probably why then. Take a look in them, you'll see, because it suggested what your goals might be. And then you can You can
Will
plan
you
it.
send them again? I never got them.
All right, I'll send it again, sure. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. And Holly,
Okay, I think mine would be, you can't help but watch some news. You can always turn it off and not let your mind go. But mine would be taking the people that I hear and see and not passing judgment and saying the Lord made each one of them, and their background they're bringing up from the day they were born to now is totally different. Everybody's different than mine, and not to prejudge and feel because with everything going on, it's so easy to point fingers and say you're wrong, you're wrong. So I'm trying to just listen and let go and let God to know what I'm not in their life. I'm not in their mind. I listen to what they say, but not let it eat me up.
right. So,
That's
okay, so it's like, so you're wanting to actually listen and take in what they're saying, to hear their reality,
right.
and then not let it affect you or
My emotions, I mean, it does, it,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel it does, but I mean, not let it go too, to let it,
and then let it go. Okay.
right,
So you can notice your reaction and then let it go is what you're saying.
right.
Okay, that's good. Listen to others and then notice your reactions, because you can't stop them anyway. The body will react,
Right.
and then let go. Okay. You've got a lot of work to do because there's a lot of people that I see on TV
Yes.
that
Don't listen to the news.
I know. How could this be? How could you believe this? Anyway.
Right.
But okay, so that's it. Okay, well, great. I'm glad to see that everybody's got a goal. Virginia, you can always read them. I'll send them out and then you can email me what your goal is.
Thank you.
Yeah,
May I just,
sure.
I just want to remind people about the pronunciation of my name.
Yes, I know it's hard. It's a hard one to get.
It's a hard one to get. So it's the same of course, you Midwesterners, I don't know how you say apple. So,
Apple.
Thanks, Dorothy.
so it's same A, so it's Aline.
Allie.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
So it's like 2 L's.
Well,
In a way.
Pauline.
Aline.
Pauline.
Instead of Eileen, it's Aileen.
No, Aline.
Al.
Say it again.
Aline.
Aline. Ah.
Al.
It's almost like an ah, no, ah.
Yeah. I usually, the
Aline.
way I got myself to remember it was to think of a man's name. Because
Al.
Al.
Allie.
Yeah. And then that way, then I remembered.
Like what man's name? What?
Al.
Alan?
Oh, Al.
Yeah. So it's easier than Al.
Oh, yeah, that does it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. I see everybody smiling. It's so delightful. And thank you all for showing up. And I love you all.
I love you,
Donna.
Next week. Have a
Thank
great
you.
week. And
Namaste.
Everybody take care.
Thank you.
Take
Stay
care.
healthy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
bye.